What's up, everybody? Shawn Patrick Greene, also known as Fudge. I've been on this topic this weekend. I didn't have an intention up until this weekend to actually do any podcasts for this platform. I really wasn't looking to get into podcasting until I'm ready with this new studio that I'm setting up. I mean, I'm using a mic that I've had for a while right now, but I didn't have the intent to do this podcast right now. But given the situation here in Buffalo, New York, the shooting that happened this past Saturday, I just thought it was important to talk a little bit about what's going on. For those people who haven't seen yet, on my YouTube channel, I uploaded it, but I did a broadcast Saturday night on other platforms, different accounts, if you will, under my background, my name that I've been used for many years, Fudge, okay? And the Buffalo Shout Out was the platform that we used, me and a constant battle, to do a podcast about Buffalo things. Mostly it was about Buffalo artists, Christian hip hop artists. So the Buffalo Shout Out, or the Shout Out show, the podcast, was music orientated, and it was really centered around our local, regional artists as a promotional tool, but also it was about internet, the whole country, Christian hip hop music. We talked about local things while we were in between songs and so on, but so Saturday night I went on those platforms. I went on the my other Facebook account, fudge.ny, and then I also live stream that on that platform on the YouTube channel for the Shout Out, or Buffalo Shout Out, whatever you want to call it, and also on the Twitter account. So, but I've also loaded that up. You go to ShawnPGreene.com, you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see the my rant. I would say a rant. It was Sunday afternoon is when I had this podcast. It's disgusting. I'm just gonna flat out tell you, this is the most disgusting news I've ever encountered here in Buffalo. And we've had a lot of negative news stories over the years, locally especially. But, we've had a bad rap for decades, for many, many things. But namely, like personalities. We had Rick James as like our major star that came from this town, and he had problems. People want to report the problems. They don't want to talk about people who are improving the city. We've had some improvements in the city, but I just want to, if you want to look at it, it's on the ShawnPGreene.com website, very first page, the landing page. I'm not going to rehash my talking points. I've also uploaded this on the Shawn P. Greene YouTube, so you can always watch it there as well. But I had no intention of doing a podcast right now. We're developing things at my church. We're going to be doing a podcast there, possibly my podcast. But we're going to be doing one there. We're going to be talking, religious topics. We're going to try to interview religious people in our region. So, but if you want to listen to my rant yesterday, I also jumped on a fellow Buffalonian that was talking about this incident last night. He's a Christian hip hop artist. He goes by the name Zadok or Zadok, the God Hop MC. He also had AI the Anomaly or Itina Cook, also a Buffalo Christian hip hop artist. Both of them signed with deals with people for the last 3 years at least. AI now, I think her term is up, but a lot of my news or stuff that I want to talk about usually came from the Christian hip hop world over the last 15 years, really, since Flavor Radio Network I created 2004. That was really my talking points. You know what I mean? I really wanted to talk about that culture. That was just one of my things. I wanted to share it. I wanted to play the music. I wanted to, get into some of the stories. But over the years, I started transitioning from being a music promoter to being, an artist in my own right as a actor, producer, director, so I got into filmmaking a lot more. I was always a documentary filmmaker in my own right since 1988, really. I mean, I would have to say I launched my career as a documentary filmmaker in 1988 with a high school project that me and a very good friend of mine, Mike Setlock, DJ here in Buffalo for many decades, was on the radio, had mix shows, was in the clubs, DJing all over the place in town. Started his own wedding company, DJ weddings all the time. So he's still doing that. He was a music promoter, programmer for a promotion label. So we did a documentary about radio and club life, oddly enough. And so I'm continuing on the film side of things, which was my passion. My part of that documentary was the actual filmmaking and editing. All right. And his portion of it was really his intently listening to the disc jockeys that we interviewed, the radio disc jockeys and the club disc jockey. And incidentally, he got into broadcasting in college because of it. I became, an independent filmmaker, really, and I was documenting, when I got out of high school, documenting all my U.S. Navy adventures, basically. Almost all of them. The first year I didn't have a camera. Too busy being a party animal. But after a year in, I realized, I don't want to miss out on these opportunities to capture these memories. So I started videotaping everything. VHS format. And you'll see, if you go to my YouTube channel, you already see I have a VHS playlist to watch all those old videos I did with me, my family, and all that stuff. But the Navy videos, those are private. They're really meant for the eyes of all of my shipmates from the USS Ranger and a couple other duty stations that, just friends that I knew over the years in that area. So now let's just talk about, again, I'm not going to get too much in depth about my feelings and thoughts of what happened this Saturday in Buffalo, New York, May 14th, 2022. My response is on my Facebook page right now, or on my YouTube page. It's on the ShawnPGreene.com website. First, the landing page, you can't miss it. It's right there. I'm talking about it. I even labeled it. So if you want to watch it, you want to listen more, go for it. Go listen to that. That's really what you're going to get, my opinion on that. But I also was a guest on Zadok, the God Hop MC's broadcast, and myself and Itina, we both chimed in and gave our opinion. And that's in one of the playlists for the Shawn P. Greene Show or the podcast on my YouTube channel. So you go ahead and you can listen and look at that towards the end. But man, I tell you what, I first came to this city again in 2010. I was crying for my city. And I feel like that the intercessory prayer that I made for this city helped. I know a lot of people are praying. I'm not the exclusive prayer intercessor for this city, but I felt like God was hearing my prayers. This city has risen from the ashes, a phoenix type, if you will, from destitution. I mean, buildings were dilapidated. You know, Larkinville specifically, I remember driving through here back in 2006, 7 or something. We came to visit here when I lived down in Orange County, New York for about 5 years. After living in Florida for 12 years. And coming back here to Buffalo after a 21-year absence. I just remember, man, look, this Larkinville district is really beat up, man. I mean, it's, you know, almost a mile from where I grew up, pretty much, as a little kid. Windows blown out, building, just everything was just abandoned. It's like, there was a documentary that was made from some Buffalo filmmakers. I forgot who else it was. Got his name. Greene was one of them. And there's another guy who's actually doing very well in the film industry. Been on television, made his own film, streamed it here. By the way, shout out to the VA for giving us these free mugs. Okay, Veterans Commissary. They gave out free mugs to us. I don't know why. Partners with your health. So, thank you, VA, for this. Drinking my ginger tea today. But this documentary, back to it, Greene and another gentleman, please forgive me, I forgot your name. But he's doing really well, and he made his own film here in Buffalo and debuted it and screened it and everything. So it was called The Forgotten City. And Buffalo has been one of the forgotten cities in America. But I mentioned it on Zadok's and mine podcast this past weekend, that the Buffalo itself, I mean, the whole Great Lakes is been pretty rough. I mean, it's not the cleanest, it's not the economically most sound region in the country, but there are a lot worse places. But Lake Erie seems to be the worst of the Great Lakes in the country, where the largest cities, the poorest largest cities, the top three cities for decades were Detroit, Cleveland, and Buffalo. Most impoverished. And this shooter from south of Binghamton, New York, very close to the Pennsylvania border, this shooter he intently looked for a zip code that had the highest concentration of African Americans. That's what he was looking for. That's what his target was. And where was it? Right here in Buffalo, New York. He was targeting African Americans. I watched the video. I seen what he did. He actually shot a white person, and he was about to shoot him dead. And he said, "I'm sorry." And he turned his gun away. He turned his gun away from a white person. He did not intend to shoot white people. He intended to shoot specifically black people in America, in Buffalo. Sick, man. It's sick. Sick that we have people that are indoctrinated to feel this way. The replacement theory, or whatever, the race replacement theory. I think this is what the political backgrounds are going to be of our politicians this year. Are you for or against critical race theory? Or are you for or against the replacement theory, race replacement theory? That seems to be the two topics right now. If you're for race replacement theory, then you're probably favoring the white supremacist mindset that white people are being replaced by ethnic minorities of this country. This is the thought process. This is what a white supremacist is afraid of. It's fear-driven. Everything's fear-driven. This whole ridiculous thought process of any race having to be better than another race. It's all ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous is a soft word. It's stupid. Flat out ignorant, stupid. I have many choice words, but I'm not going to broadcast them. I'm not going to be cussing out all over my podcast, trying to keep it clean but it's hard to keep it clean and keep it real at the same time. I wanted to go off Saturday night. I was gonna go live Saturday night, but there was just a lot of information that was still coming in that we didn't understand, that we didn't know, so I didn't want to just jump on and have a reactive situation here. And I just think it would have been inappropriate to try to respond Saturday night, only because out of respect for the families that lost their loved ones, the friends of these people, the 10 people who are innocent that died, and the other 3 people innocently were shot. I didn't want to I just wasn't ready to comment. I was crying. I was angry. I had full-on emotions about this whole thing. What angered me the most, maybe it was just me being selfish, but what angered me the most was that this white male, and again, I know I will never call him a man, because he is not a man. He was a young boy who was a punk who acted out of ignorance and stupidity and hate. That didn't need to be. Whoever indoctrinated him, whoever made him feel this way, whoever influenced him to think this way, I blame all those people as well. But he acted on it. It's all his fault. He did this. He needs the full, arm of the law and justice to be served on his head. And we had back in the mid-90s, I think it was, I can't remember when it was. Maybe it was my research I haven't done any research today. No show prep, no nothing. This is just commentary. But if you guys remember 2005, maybe 2005, I think it was. Timothy McVeigh was given a lethal injection. And I was listening to the MJ Morning Show at that time in Tampa Bay. It was 93.3 FLZ, WFLZ. And I just remember the reaction on their staff. Timothy McVeigh was from this area. He was from Western New York. And he intently bombed the heart of the USA, killing many people. I don't remember. I don't have it up here. Killing many people innocently. Ted Kaczynski. Now, I don't know where these crazy white people get these ideas from. I don't understand it. I do understand, okay, there's emotions that we have as certain races, okay? Every race has certain emotions. Some of it justifiable, some of it not justifiable. There was no justifiable reason for this to happen this weekend. I don't care what the claim is, saying that maybe Tucker Carlson's beliefs or his Fox News reporting on critical race theory and all that other stuff, that his opinionated speech also inspired this young man to be stirred up and into a frenzy to do something about it. I mean, that's what some of these people are talking about. Some of these people are reporting on that it's Tucker Carlson's fault for inspiring him to act crazy. No, violence is not the answer, and Tucker did not say take up arms against people who teach critical race theory. But I will say this. You got a lot of people out there, and I'm not saying they're all mentally unstable or they have mental health issues, because they don't all. Some of these people are very intelligent, and they're very much in tune with current events and what's going on. And they're not happy about how they feel what's happening. Now, okay, I'm not against policies that help minority people in this country. I'm not against it. But I still can see how a Caucasian person can feel threatened by things like affirmative action, okay? I can understand how they can feel about it. But I don't think it's a thing that you act on violently towards that group of people because you feel like your socio-economical situation will be threatened by it. That I don't agree with at all. But I still can't understand how a Caucasian person would feel about it. It's ignorant. Most of the time, people like that are not close enough to people of color, people of other races, other cultures. I purposefully try to learn people's cultures of people that are not looking like me or acting like me, or people are not in a world that I live in. I purposely look for situations to be in different situations of other than my own. And I'm not just talking about black people in Buffalo, okay? I'm talking about, I joined the Navy so I can travel the world and see for myself what these books and the social studies books in high school were trying to teach you. I fell asleep in social studies. I was bored of it. Okay, I was in a predominantly white high school, West Seneca West. suburb here bordering the city of Buffalo, South Buffalo specifically. I had an old white male teacher teaching me about social studies, Asian culture. He's teaching me Asian culture. I mean, I knew in high school I was a different person. I was a different kind of white dude. I wasn't racist I was never a racist or supremacist. I was a very multicultural minded white kid. And I was very different. I wasn't a normal, fit into the box type of person. People that went to high school could attest to me, to me saying that. I wasn't an everyday white kid in high school. I wasn't a loner. I was popular with the girls, and I changed my looks every quarter, every semester it seemed. One day I looked preppy, one day I looked like a jock, one day I looked like a freak. Didn't matter. I didn't care. I just wore whatever I could get, whatever I had. I didn't really have a whole lot. I didn't have a huge wardrobe. I just, I rocked what I got. That was a phrase that me and Constant Battle and Fonz Carter, we coined that phrase. Rock what you got. That's what I did when I was younger. I liked Run DMC. I liked Journey. I liked Weird Al Yankovic. I liked U2. You couldn't put me in a box. Shawn P. Greene is not a definable human being. Even today, you can't define who I am. I am not the Caucasian molded type person. You can't figure me out. I like Christian hip hop. I like Christian rock. But I've also liked the Foo Fighters. And I've liked Post Malone. I don't agree with the lifestyle. I don't agree with, living out a sinful nature. But I've sinned too. And I'm not judgmental. So, the bottom line is this. My perspective could be more unique than some Caucasians. And I feel like I can talk about it in a objective way. So I believe that this young man was stupid for what he did. Okay, I denounce anybody who. I don't want to be your friend. If you're a white supremacist, I don't want to be your friend. Will I have a conversation with you? Of course I will. Will I love my neighbor as myself? Of course I will. But you're not my friend. You'll never be my friend. I don't ever believe the system of people who suppress other people. It doesn't matter what color. I don't care if you're white, black, Asian. I don't care where you're from, what your background is. If you're into suppressing a culture or a certain person, people group, you'll never be my friend. And I'll never attempt to be your friend. I can act friendly, I can be cordial, I can be civil, but I'm not going to be your friend. I denounce white supremacy. I denounce the actions of anybody who acts as a white supremacist. I denounce anybody who is anti-Semite or anti-Palestinian or anti-Arab or anti, German, anti-Russian. I denounce all of you. Russian people are not the problem in this Ukraine war. That's solely the Kremlin, the government, the people who are running things. That's solely, Vlad Putin. He's the one that's doing this. and the people that are behind him, backing him. I denounce that. But I also denounce any white supremacist who was training in the Ukraine. I denounce those people. Some of them were radicalized in Ukraine, you know that. Many people in this country traveled to Ukraine in Kyiv, or Kiev, whatever you want to pronounce it, training to be white supremacists. Did you know that? Did you realize that? Ukraine is still a part of the Russian culture, even though Ukraine is trying to have their own identity over these past decades, since the fall of the Soviet Union. There's still Soviet Union mindset. There's still something there among some of the people, which is why they had that eastern region a big conflict zone, because number one, some of the Ukrainians still feel Soviet. And some of the Russian people along that border feel that they're still Soviet too. They still feel they're part of that. I mean, imagine the United States splits up into 5 regions all of a sudden. All right, 30 years later, there's still a remnant of people in America who identify as Americans, even if all of our 5 regions are separated countries. We would still consider ourselves Americans first. People will still think that. Ukraine, Russia, they still, on both sides, still some of them feel that they're Soviets. And some people in Ukraine, some people in Russia denounce being part of the Soviet system. They're still loyal to their home countries. It's complicated. It's complicated. We're not gonna eradicate all these situations. So this weekend was a crazy weekend in America. Okay? It's not uncommon. I was looking at something that said, I think Newsy was saying there were 200 mass shootings. Now they label anybody that was shot or killed within four people or more, okay, is considered a mass shooting in America. There have been 200 mass shootings in America just in 2022, just this year alone. But this weekend made headlines all over the world with Buffalo being the big one of the news reports. So big that Joe Biden is supposed to be here tomorrow. You know there's going to have security around him, because not everybody likes Joe Biden. But we're not packing the heat as much as some southern cities are, you know what I'm saying? Well, anyways, here's the thing. Here's the deal, as Pastor Biden. I got problems. I'm sorry, I'm not fully functional. So Biden's coming to town, and that's all I'm going to say about him. I didn't vote for him. I didn't vote for a critical race theory. But I also don't subscribe to white supremacy at any level, not even a little bit. But this is going to happen, okay? It's sick, because the world's sick. And the flat out, my opinion, is that the world needs Jesus. That's it. Jesus Christ, the Lord and Savior of all of us. That's what this world needs. That's it. That's the answer. Jesus is the answer. We were singing that in the 70s, and it's still relevant to today. Jesus is the answer for the world today. Above there is no other. Jesus is the way. So that's all I'm going to say. That's my message. But just like the Bible says, the poor you will have always. And you know what that's for? The reason for that is for people who are righteous or have the resources to act and give to the poor. That was a commandment. Jesus says, give to the poor. True religion. I think I talked about this in one of my podcasts in the past. True religion is giving to the poor, specifically taking care of the orphans and the widows. That's true religion. So it's gonna show. I mean, our community's got Christians in it, but there's people that are not Christian, even Muslim, who are gonna be a part of giving to this community that's in need right now. So Jefferson Avenue, I'm gonna try to pull it up on the Google Maps, and I'll kind of show you a little bit where this is in relation to Buffalo, the city itself. So Jefferson Avenue, okay, pulls up South Buffalo because this is where I'm from on my Google Maps. Be considered, Seneca Street. I mean, Abbott McKinley is considered the neighborhood, but Seneca really is the neighborhood. Seneca and Bailey, all right? This little spot right here is going towards where I live, okay? So let's just zoom out from my South Buffalo neighborhood, okay? And we'll go, actually we can just take it right from, I think it connects to Jefferson via Hamburg Street. All right, so Seneca Street, take it right here to Hamburg. Hamburg connects to Jefferson. And there it is. Let's see where the tops is here. Do you know what's unique, interesting? I noticed as soon as I came here, there's this block here called, well, let's just zoom in, right on Howard Street, okay? We have a William Street that goes into Buffalo. It goes east and west. Buffalo, William Street. We have Jefferson Street, which goes north and south, right here, Jefferson Avenue. And then we got a Clinton Street that goes east and west, goes out to the suburbs. William, Jefferson, Clinton. To me, that blew my mind. William Jefferson Clinton. What's on that block? Well, they started rebuilding a few things. They got a plaza down here. They have a McDonald's. Of course, right there on Jefferson Avenue, liquor store. They have Holy Temple Church of God in Christ. New Hope Education Center is just down the road, New Hope Church. First Calvary Missionary Baptist Church. All this is in this neighborhood. And then there's this McDonald's, there's this plaza, Catholic Charities, okay, Laundromat, M&T Bank, Boost Mobile, Family Dollar. No grocery store. I don't see any grocery stores here. Easy Pass Food Mart. It's a convenience store, which means that the food is overpriced. All right. That's it. I mean, really, there's no grocery store on Jefferson. Even starting from Hamburg Street, there's nothing. All right. Let's keep moving forward north towards where this incident happened. Here's Jefferson Avenue. We're going up north. All right. Pentecostal Church. Car wash. These are just, a couple things on the way up towards that. Health insurance. Jefferson Express Mart. That's a corner store. That's nothing. That's on Genesee and Brown Street right there by Jefferson. Queen City Storage. All right. What else is going on here? Oh, there's Dnipro Ukrainian Cultural Center. That's where a lot of people in our region were donating, helping, send aid to the Ukrainians. As if this $1 trillion donation is not enough already. That money's not going to the victims. There's Mount Aaron Baptist Church. Okay, so far we got all these churches. What else? Construction site. Big Basha Central Clothing Store. Island Mix Jamaican Food Restaurant. Sunshine Vegan Eats. Farrah J's Beauty Parlor. Family Dollar Store. Another store that's overpriced in product. Refugee Temple Church. Food Distribution Center. That's on High Street in Jefferson. They have to do this because there is no grocery stores here. Nowhere in this neighborhood. On this street. Urban Christian Ministries. How many more Christian things do we need in these neighborhoods? They're so divided even in their own neighborhood. I'm telling you, they gotta come together here with all these. Okay, I'm not saying that you can't have your own fellowship, fine. But here's options here. Stop and Go convenience store. That's another small spot. That's not look at that. Look how small this little place is. East North Street and Jefferson Avenue. Nothing. Little convenience store. Another place, possibly, I don't even know who owns it. Chances are, these places are not African American owned. Faith Apostolic Church of Christ. Here's another one. Alfie's Food Mart. Another corner store, overpriced items. Dodge Street. We'll keep going north on just Jefferson Avenue. I'm just trying to bring light to what's happening here in this town. Maston Park, big park. A lot of shootings happen there too. Cold Spring Taxi, U-Haul, True Vine New Church on Northampton and Jefferson. We're not even close to this neighborhood yet, and yet look how far away everything is for these people to shop at a reasonably priced place. Reasonably priced. Buffalo Fire, Northwest Bank. From what I understand, Mayor Byron Brown made sure there was a bank in this community because they didn't have banks. They had all these convenience stores making everybody cash their checks there or whatever, paying fees to cash those checks or drop it in like the green dots or the cards that you can get to use as a credit card or as like a debit card. Buffalo Fire. And here it is. Here's the neighborhood this happened in. Jefferson Avenue, Riley Street. Okay, wow. Here's the Tops now. Tops Friendly Market. And they truly are a friendly market, okay? But that's what they call themselves. Tops Friendly Markets. And it's one, Zadok made a point yesterday, it's one of the smaller places in the country. Or within the city limits. One of the smallest Tops. And look how far away everybody is from this Tops in this neighborhood. There's no grocery stores downtown. Okay? Look at this. All the markets. See, there's an El Aqsa supermarket. How super is this market? I've never been to this one on Fillmore. Okay, it's like a small neighborhood market. It's not a big grocery store, okay? And this wasn't a big grocery store either. Okay, look at, there's nothing though. Reasonably priced groceries. Nothing in this area. Nothing. Look at this. The next closest Tops is in my neighborhood. At the very end of Bailey and South Park Avenue. We're about 3 miles away, I believe. I used to go to this Tops almost every night. I don't think I went to the Family Dollar too much. Family Dollar right across the street there on Landon. Again, overpriced groceries. They got a bed bug extermination. They got G-Bond, Health Services, M&T Bank, Cold Spring Market, and Deli. Again, look at this. Look at how small this is. Okay, you're going to know. You buy a loaf of bread at Tops, let's just say it's $2. You're going to pay $2.50 or more at the local market and delis. You're going to pay more for everything, okay? I mean, that's how they make profit and stay afloat, is they got to overprice all their stuff, but they can go across the street, and buy stuff at Tops and bring it in their place and hike up the price. And quite frankly, they have. What else is in this neighborhood? Clothing store, nail salon. I guess there's a media company. Barber shop. Some grill. I don't know, maybe they're doing teeth. Barber shop and grills. Maybe they're doing gold teeth. I don't know. I never frequented that place. Around the corner, you have Greater Hope Baptist Church. You have New Hope Church of God in Christ. Okay, lots of churches. Mount Moriah Baptist Church. Within a few blocks of this Tops. Do they have all the resources? I don't know. There's one thing that sometimes it's a little shady, is that there might not be accountability for finances. Everybody's just paying their tithes and it's going right to the pastor's livelihood, and that's it. Some people, or paying some of the light bills in the church. I've been in a situation. It was a black denomination. It was a Church of God in Christ down in Middletown. This guy, I didn't trust him. I didn't believe. I didn't know what was up with him. He's pretty shady. But you can fool some people, especially people that either undereducated, can't read for themselves the Word of God. You can fool people and then making you pay them, robbing from poor people in your neighborhood so that you can have a house outside of that city. It's just, I'm sorry, man. Hypocrisy is big in a lot of churches. A lot of churches. Not every church. I'm not saying every church is like this. I'm not saying every black church or white church or whatever kind of church is like this, but there's corruption in all kinds of places. But as many churches as you have in this neighborhood, you have one grocery store and several little delis and baby markets in that spot. So I'm grateful that people are considering this neighborhood, the people in this neighborhood that need a shuttle to go to another store to buy groceries. This is a wonderful idea. But why don't we start investing in this area more? This situation brought to light the food desert in this area. Why am I still talking about this? Because it bothers me that this has to be an issue. Now, I mentioned again, I mentioned that before that I purposefully found an area to move to where there's 5 different bus routes. There's 2 grocery stores, a couple convenience stores. There's Rite Aid is around the corner. What else? Actually, there's 3 grocery stores 3 tops within a mile radius of where I live. And, it takes about half an hour maybe to walk. I don't know. I didn't ever time. I don't think I timed myself. But it doesn't take long to get there. Take a bike ride maybe if you have to. Carrying a lot of groceries is not easy. So Ubering would probably be more, ride, walk there, and then Uber back home, whatever you have grocery-wise, cab, whatever. But that's a lot of money to do all that too. You don't have the money for transportation to drive 2 or 3 miles outside of your neighborhood to go grocery shopping. That might work for people in the suburbs that got gas guzzling pickups or in the rural areas. I mean, even rural areas have issues, okay, with impoverished places that are isolated from the urban centers where there's more resources. But in an inner city, this populated, to have just one grocery store, to me, that's sick. More resources at affordable prices need to be in this area. Now, in proximity to this right here, Family Dollar, back in, I think it was 2019, December, and then January, February 2020. No, I'm sorry, 2018 December, 2019 of January, February, I was in a play, and it was right here at the African American Cultural Center. Inside this cultural center is a small stage called the Paul Robeson Theater. Paul Robeson is an African American actor, playwright. They have a big center down in New York City as well. But we have a small little facility here on Maston Avenue near Glenwood, and actually a couple friends of mine have a church here called Christ Crusaders Assembly, not too far away. I used to go there quite frequently they had a men's breakfast. Pastor Steve Foreman was a great man, funny dude. He's pretty loud, but he's goofball, hardworking man. Love this dude, love his church. AI the Anomaly went to this church. Constant Battle went to this church. I don't know if they're still frequently going there, but so I spent time in this church. I spent time at this African American Cultural Center. I've been to the Apollo Media Center just down the road. This is a beautiful spot. They've had events there. They have a public broadcasting spot. So I've been in this area often, and I've stopped at this top store almost every time I was there, buying something, groceries, fruits, vegetables, something to drink. I bought snacks. Actually, for the play I was in, I bought some. What did I buy? I actually had like a 3-pot. I'm trying to think what you call it. Come on. I had my daughter with me. I had a 3-pot crock pot. All right, Ron, you want to get on the camera? Come here. Say hi to everybody. She's a little under the weather. She got boogies. Come here. Show everybody your face. Show everybody. Say hi. Yeah.
And
What? Coffee? Fireplace. You happy? She's home today. That's why she's stuffed up her nose. So I'll make sure to take care of my baby. But get back to my point. There's a lot of people in this. This is not a wealthy area to live in, okay? Utica Street is just up the road from that. Is a well-known spot, road, East Utica, where there's a lot of crime that happens, okay? Shootings. This is not it's not the wealthiest neighborhood, okay? I'm not saying that everybody here is not doing well or whatever. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that it's predominantly African American, and it's a very low-level resourced area. Now, if you look, there's really not a whole lot of industry here. Okay, public school, maybe. That's about it. Some school, library, lots of churches. So basically, this part of town is only open on Sunday. There's no jobs in this part of the area, part of the community. There's no sustained jobs where Monday through Friday you can work. Foundry's a nice little spot they had some events over there, open mics. I think I even went there to try out for a short film or something, some stage production. You guys get my point, though. Not a whole lot going on in this area. No grocery stores, but this one, and it's closed. They had it's a crime scene. I get it. But there's nothing else for these people in this area to walk to feed their family. It's sandwiched right in between. Well, this neighborhood in particular, okay? East Ferry, East Utica, West Ferry, West Utica. I mean, they're all in the same area, okay? Zadok used to live around this area. I don't know if he still does. One of the solutions, here's the thing. People rant and rave. One of the solutions was urban gardening, which, man, I've seen this happen. Zadok was doing it in his backyard or somebody's neighborhood. They bought property, they started farming it. This happened also in Chicago, in Lawndale neighborhood. I was over there for a couple events, 2013, 2014. I stayed at kind of like a dorm room for people who really couldn't afford to go anywhere. People were trying to go to college in that area. And I mean, it's not a friendly neighborhood there either. It's all over this country. Every city has those neighborhoods, okay? Those type of neighborhoods where the resources are not available. Lawndale has an amazing campus of volunteers and resources for that neighborhood that just they were part of the solution. And I saw urban gardens there too. That's the solution. Let's train people how to farm in their own property. They don't want you to do that, obviously, because they want to have control of the food. But that's what it's going to take. We're going to need seeds. We're going to need fertilizer. We're going to need all this stuff to help people garden in their own backyards, so they don't have to depend on the local grocery store that's miles away. So I'm gonna see exactly how far it is from this Tops in this neighborhood. I'm trying to see where the other ones are. Okay, there's really no markets. Okay, the Broadway market, that's quite a distance. Okay, Broadway market's about 2 miles. Okay, there are some resources there, but we're about 3 miles away. So our tops that I go to here, I'm gonna just put that there. That's not what I want. So you get the idea, okay? The distance from this tops to this tops, about 3 miles, maybe a little bit more. So tops to tops. Let's get back there. There you go. All right, longer than I thought. 5 miles from my tops to their tops. About 5 miles. All right. So it's about 10 miles round trip, roughly. I have 1, 2, and then right here on within my vicinity, 3. I have 3 tops markets that I can walk to from my house. It would take about 15 minutes to a half hour to get to either one of them. It's unbalanced. This one here, there's one in West Seneca on Harlem Road. Okay, that's the suburb. And you got the neighborhood around here. But most of these people in this area are paying high taxes for their property. So generally they have more income. There's a Wegmans, another Tops. So there's a 4 Tops within 2 miles of my house. 4 Tops. And a Wegmans, which is another grocery store that our region. I'm like, wow. This is all predominantly white neighborhoods. You don't think that there's a problem there? You don't think there's a situation there? That's a big problem. I have 5 places to go to get groceries within 2 miles of my house. And bus routes to get to them if I want to. With maybe one exception. There's something wrong with that. This neighborhood, 5 miles from my neighborhood Tops. One grocery store within. It appears to be a 2 mile radius. 1 versus 5. That's a big issue. That's unbalanced resources for anybody. And there's a higher concentration of people in that Jefferson, between East Ferry and Best Street. Okay, Baston Park is one side of Jefferson neighborhood. The other side is Kingsley, which is where this Tops is. MLK Park District, Fruit Belt District. Fruit Belt has been in the news a lot locally because people are getting pushed out of the neighborhood basically because of this new medical campus. Huge medical campus we have. Buffalo General. They just built O'Shea's Children's Center. They got the Moffitt, or they have a cancer center here. They got a lot of things in this area. Okay, they're just blowing up in the medical district and near Allentown, but the Fruit Belt is getting pushed out. Where are they going? They have to go out more to where there's no resources or very few resources. They're losing homes because of expansion. It's not uncommon. That's not new. This is history of urban growth. People get pushed out as things grow. So that's my rant today. It's all about. Oh, I'm sorry. I took the map off. I'm sorry. So here's what I was talking about. This is distance 5 miles from my house. Okay. That's where the next tops is, going away from my neighborhood north into the east side. Okay, between East Ferry and Best or Walden kind of connect. Okay, the Maston Park area, Kingsley area, there's nothing. No other grocery stores. They have a market about 2 miles away. There's Kaleida Health. Okay, so right here on South Park, the tops that I usually frequent is half a mile, less than a mile from my house. Okay, and within 2 miles, I got a grocery store here on Harlem. Where is it at? Okay, right here, Harlem. There's a Tops right here. It's not showing it. A Friendly Market right there. Okay. Where else? Seneca Street. Keep going from Seneca into West Seneca. All right, you have grocery store, Tops right there, Wegmans right there. Okay, so all that's there available. Plus, I got a small neighborhood Tops, Wise Guy Pizza. Okay, there's a couple other places. Plus, we got like the discount stores. You know, they have Aldi's are close by. They just rebuilt the big Aldi's in West Seneca. So that's 6 really. 6 places to buy groceries within a 2-mile radius from my house. 5 miles away on Jefferson Avenue, 1300 Jefferson Avenue. 1 grocery store within a 2-mile radius. Everything else are corner stores, overpriced corner stores. A lot of liquor stores and a lot of churches. It's a congested area. It's not over congested, but it's a populated area. This kid targeted that Tops in a store that this neighborhood needed so badly. The food desert. If anything good has happened from this, number one, our city coming back together more and more. That's the good that could come from this. Now, there's going to be animosity among African Americans towards white people. There's going to be hatred towards white people. There's going to be fear of white people. Okay? But generally speaking, they don't blame white people. They blame white supremacists. And I blame white supremacy, thought, indoctrination. And again, I watched this documentary that explained the white supremacy extremists from this country, some of them, went to Ukraine in Kyiv to be trained. And that's part of the reason Vladimir Putin had an incentive to invade. I don't agree with what he did. I don't agree with his invasion whatsoever. I do not sympathize for him at all. I'm just giving you the rational, not the irrational thought of this madman invading Ukraine. But part of his reasoning is because of corruption in Ukraine. And all the Western media and the left-wing media, thought police, pushed everything they could to ban any Russian input from, like, Russian Today, RT or whatever, from Russian media or any kind of outlet from the Kremlin. They banned it. They pushed it all out. I can't get it on any of my regular platforms. I got to go to the internet. I'm surprised they didn't try to block that website from, on the Google Chrome or whatever. But that's it. You're not going to hear that information from Western media. They won't talk about it. Maybe Fox or Tucker Carlson will talk about it, but you got to go on the internet. You got to go on Rumble and hear the perspectives from the people that are on that platform that YouTube won't allow. Some of them YouTube banned, or they banned certain certain people, or certain episodes of some shows that talked about Russian. I wouldn't be surprised if I get flagged, but I digress. This is all about Buffalo shooting, the Milwaukee shooting on Friday. Several people got shot there. Houston, 2 people died. And then now in Orange County, California. I'm not saying these are all white people. I'm not saying they're all black people. Again, I don't call out black on black crime as a counterpoint to, well, what about this? A lot of white folks will bring up black on black crime. I don't call it that. I call it inner city on inner city crime. It just so happens that the majority of inner city folks are people of color. That's all. It's a coincidence. There are white ghettos in this world where there's white on white crime quite a bit. They don't talk about that. They don't want to even bring that up. But white supremacy has no place whatsoever in this world, anywhere. And I denounce it. I'm against it. And if it was ever in my power to be a defense mechanism for it, I would do everything I could. So, gun laws aren't helping. Just like DUI laws aren't helping. People are driving drunk. People still die from drunk drivers. You can tell everybody, here's the law, you have to abide by it. Everybody's not going to abide by the law. A small majority of them will flat out break the law on purpose, to defy the law. They'll do everything they can to circumvent the law, to outlet their anger or frustration, or just flat out be rebellious. These theft rings are not legal. Theft is outlawed, right? It's banned, whatever you want to call it. It's illegal to bum rush a jewelry store, break all their windows and all the glass display cases, grab all that material and run out the door. That's illegal, right? All right, we got a law. Great. People are still going to break the law. No matter how many gun control laws you have, people are still going to break the law. This kid broke the law by buying an AR-15, going down to Pennsylvania, just south of where he lived. Got some modification device for his AR-15. Came back to New York State, scoped out a day before that food desert of a Tops grocery store and decided that's where he's gonna wreak havoc. He thought about this long time, premeditated. But the guns were illegal. How did he get away with this? Nothing you can do about people that are outlaw, that are doing things illegal. You can't change people doing illegal things. Nothing you can do about it. I'm done for today. I want to thank you guys for listening and watching. Who knows if I'll do this again next Monday, but I'm in development of other programming. So, I got somebody calling me. So stay tuned. ShawnPGreene.com for the latest. I'll try to upload something. It maybe once a week, maybe Mondays. Monday seems to be the best day to actually do a program because it's a recap of what happened over the weekend and possibly leading into certain things throughout the week. But I want to stay connected to you, my audience, as we're developing. I'm reconstructing some things. We're going to start doing, or me, I'm going to do some reviews on technology, some items that I'll be purchasing, using them throughout, integrating it throughout my my show, plus some food. I have some food restaurant type reviews we'll be doing, and then we'll go from there. So stay tuned. ShawnPGreene.com for all the links, all the information. That's where I'm centrally located. And that's all I got for today, people. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tolerating my, my banter about this situation. Still a lot of information being investigated. This kid is going to get the full arm of the law, but he's on suicide watch. We don't know what's going to happen with him just yet, but he's going to jail for sure. How he's treated in jail, that's going to be another thing. So, but thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I think this this music might have been a little too loud. I hope not. If so, I apologize. But that was my rant for today. All right. Have a good one. Thank you.